FAERIES, the narrow loser of the which scenario should I play first poll versus Dragon Orb, but it was only pushed back a single week, so it's not that big of a deal, right? Anyway, on this medium-sized map, we're straight to business. We play as Red, always Inferno, always Nymus as the starting hero, who starts a couple of steps away from our town. The goal here is very simple. Make our way to Pink to take out their 4 towns, plus however many heroes they've amassed. Pink has a lot of resources and artifacts, but has no way to escape their extremely rich area. But how do we reach this bountiful middle zone? Well, you are supposed to go all the way around the map to reach this boat, which is so achingly close to our starting zone. Sail across the little pond, past the light blue border guard, and then go straight for the beast that is Pink. Or you can take the longer route past the dark blue border guard. Options. Along the way are many helpful tools to make the Pink beast a little less scary. In the overworld, we can, among other things, find a pyramid to learn a random tier 5 spell, a pretty large number of Inferno dwellings, an Inferno town to the south with a bunch of pre-built buildings, like the castle gate for an easy town portal option, and resources literally everywhere. In the underground, we find more of the same stuff, just a little more scarcely placed. And there's even a third Inferno town here, so if you flag all the Inferno dwellings while building up all 3 towns, this is a pretty easy map. Oh, and there are text events pretty much all over this map, which are pretty funny, so if you haven't played this map before, you should, even if it's just for the events. Be aware though, on some versions of the game, there's a tree blocking the path in the southeast, so you might want to remove that in the editor. There was no tree in my edition, so maybe it was fixed in an HD mod update. I don't really know. Anyway, earlier I said you are supposed to go all around the map, which obviously means I'm not doing that. But in my last video I didn't spoil the strategy, and I got quite a bit of positive feedback on not including what I'm gonna do, so I won't tell you this time either. Instead, I can quickly walk you through what was one of the strategies I intended on using, which turned out not to work of course. Originally, I planned on using Nymus only, making a pit stop by the Hall of Sins, pick up every bit of XP I can get my hands on, even if it's just from a couple of chests in the underground, before I finally make my way to the pyramid, where I would learn Dimension Door, to then just blaze past Pink. However, this strategy has some major downsides. First of all, pyramids are guarded by way too many high-level golems for a meek early Inferno army to take on. Secondly, I would need expert wisdom and at least basic air magic to even take advantage of DD. Lastly, it's not even given I could take out Pink with whatever army I had left after a potential pyramid victory, so it had to be scrapped. Instead, you are going in blind. Again. I'm sure a fair few of you already have figured out my strategy though. Anyway, I would love to hear your opinions on this approach. Do you prefer the non-spoiling way, or to get the strategy before the gameplay begins? Tell me in the comments please. I don't think much more needs to be said, I think we should just see how it goes. So the only thing I can choose here is the starting bonus, which will be gold as usual. Check! Let's just get down to business. Remember to like, comment and subscribe, or even become a channel member. To reach my preferred seed, I enter the Ore Guard fight, which, like every other starting zone fight, is against centaurs or centaur captains that always fight back, and then reset 7 times. Now I dismiss Nymus's Gogs, get taught learning by the Witch Hut, and move towards the subterranean gate. On day 2, Nymus reaches the underground and picks up enough gold to put me at a neat 5,300. This is enough to buy 2 more heroes. First, I hire Pyre, who is probably the best Inferno hero I could have gotten. Swing by the Learning Stone just for the hell of it, and head towards the nearest shore in sight, not risking losing army against the centaurs, even with the advanced artillery. With my remaining gold, I also hire Gem, who, for those of you who don't know, is the only hero in the game who has summoned both as their starting spell. She follows in Pyre's footsteps, picks up a pretty useless artifact, and needs 2 tries to summon the boat. Lucky. No mana for a 3rd try, so no complaints here. Before ending the turn, Pyre gets the faster Rampart army from Gem, for literally no reason. Day 3, and Nymus continues in the underground, heading for the Keymaster's tent, and not much else. Gem transfers over the imps to Pyre, who just sails a bit, picking up some gold from a sea chest. Afterwards, Gem is awarded with early retirement. Nymus closes in on the overworld again, while Pyre finds her way to the shore, also getting some more gold from a flotsam on the way. We can even see a pink hero passing by, not seeming very afraid of Pyre. A bit unnerving. On day 5, Nymus takes on the familiars guarding the tent, but they always join, even giving her a nice compliment, calling her boss. Very friendly of them, I must say, so they can join our cause. And I even have just enough movement left to reach the tent. Pyre then ignores the shields next to her, instead getting gold from another chest, then passes by the border guard, steps in something she doesn't want to know what is, probably centaur poop, let's be honest, ignores the pink hero to go straight for the nearby Rampart village to the south, just barely reaching, and then hides in town. In the tavern, I find the best hero I could have gotten, Monair, who takes Pyre's entire army, leaving her with only one pixie. Monair rides south as fast as he can, swinging by a chest for some extra gold on the way, then inches forward, and even has enough movement to take on a pink inferno hero, Zyron, who has a comparable army to Monair's. Incredibly enough, Otto wins, which I really didn't expect, so I decide I want to see how it played out. As usual, Otto just goes all in on turn 1, but Zyron does the same thing as well, which makes this kind of a clown fiesta to watch. The big difference between our armies is the centaurs, which are so much better than imps, making up for the bigger number of shooters Zyron has. Eventually, all the other melee creatures die, leaving only the centaurs and wood elves to clean up. Unfortunately, the centaurs will end up being taken out by the enemy elves, leaving this in a 3 friendly elves versus 2 evil elves situation, which Zyron wants nothing of, so he flees. The caveman approach works again. Strong work, Otto. Just in case of something unexpected, Monair's gonna swing by the homestead the next day for some backup. But we're not ending the day yet. I hire another hero in Pyre's new home, Thane. I wanted a hero with a spellbook to learn Magic Arrow from the Mage Guild in town, and Thane fitted that bill. He then gets the Ballista, First Aid Tent and the Morale artifact from Pyre, as well as the Pixie, and attacks the northern pink hero, Torosar, who has both a Ballista and spells, so Otto will always lose this. I will win, however, as I can just Magic Arrow his lone gremlin. Easy peasy. Thane then sets his sights on the potentially fortified pink town. I still have enough gold for yet another hero, Vidomina, who makes her way towards the last pink town, going through sort of a shortcut, I think. She continues on day 6, reaching the road, passing the unguarded pink garrison, and can just barely reach the unguarded village. That was pretty close. Thane, meanwhile, reaches a bit of a problem. Hobgoblins. Lots of them. And I only have 1 pixie plus a couple of war machines. No shade towards Otto this time, this is not easy. I have enough spell points for 3 more magic arrows, so I cast the first one immediately, taking out the topmost stack, then wait. After the hobgoblins move, Thane again tells me the odds are overwhelming and that I should retreat, on the ballista turn. I literally did not know this could happen mid-fight until this. Incredible. But mama didn't raise no coward, so I just continue. Moving the pixie towards the top left corner. Another magic arrow is sent the next turn, followed by more waiting. The bottom hobgoblins are drawn towards the war machines, thankfully, so I can use the pixie's superior speed to run away to the other side while casting the last magic arrow I have. Since the remaining stacks can't reach the pixie, they fully focus on the war machines, letting the ballista slowly but surely whittle the poor goblin boys down, one shot at a time, not doing much damage with each one. I had 1 pixie, 1 ballista and a dream, and it worked. Amazing. Using his immense speed, Thane even reaches the pink town, which turns out to be unguarded too. Which is incredibly strange to me, as they had centaurs, wood elves, pegasi and dendroid guards available, and since the AI cheats with resources, there's no way they couldn't afford them. Lucky for me, I guess. Monair then gets the 7 Wood Elves from the neutral homestead, passes by the pink garrison and finds the last town to be free as well. He walks in, ignoring the event text, which is pretty funny, and vanquishes pink. I celebrate my victory in a mere 6 days, which I think is pretty good. A solid score this time as well, 448 and Archangel rank. Initially, I was going for some sort of Dimension Door strategy, but I couldn't get it to rival the speed of the just run at them ASAP strat. Could this be improved? Not using the same strategy I think, but there's always a risk of me not finding the best ways to do it. But that's half the fun of this. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching. If you did, please leave a like, comment and a subscription. You can also become a channel member for earlier access to my videos. I hope to see you next time, and that you have a might and magically good day. Bye bye. As always, a huge thank you to all my channel members, as well as an extra special shout out to my Ballista channel members, Eskubani, Lika, Van Lunis, and Rick Visout. Thank you very much, guys.